We are learning to use models to multiply a decimal and a whole number. The WALT is in the description, so pause the video now and write that down with the date in your notebooks. So first I want to just think about this kind of in a word problem way. So let's just say someone had 4 paintings. Call him Sam. Sam had 4 paintings lined up in a row, and their heights were different, but their widths were the same. Now my drawings are not going to be perfect. I'm going to try. So these are there are 4 paintings, and the widths are supposed to be the same distance in each painting. And so there are 4 paintings, and the widths are 36 hundredths of a meter wide. Now the question would be, so how wide are the 4 paintings all together? So I'm just going to write 36 hundredths so we remember. Each painting is 36 hundredths wide, and there are 4 paintings. So think a little bit about how we would solve that. Well, we can multiply, because even though it's a decimal, we can still do the same math operations. So we have 4 paintings, and we want to multiply that by 36 hundredths. Now, this might be a little bit hard because we haven't really practiced multiplying these two numbers, or a whole number and a decimal, but we can still use some models to do this. And what I would do is, I now know I have 4 times 36 hundredths, so I have to use my grids down here to do 36 hundredths 4 times. So let's see, I'm going to see if I can get like a wider pen going. Maybe that'll help me a little bit with the drawing of this. So I'm just going to start from here, okay, and I'm going to go and I'll do, that's 10. Because remember, there's 100 boxes in here, and I'm basically coloring in 36 to start, and then 4 times. So there's 30, and now I have 6 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so that's 36 hundredths. Now I need to do that 3 more times because I did it once. So I'm going to go and I'm going to just change my color, so that I'll make sure that I'm doing it 4 times, so that's 4. Now let's do 10. So then this is 14. I'm going to get to 36 again. 24. 34. Okay, and then 35, 36. All right, so I did it twice. I'm going to change my color. Come back. It was 8. 8. 18. 28. Now, if I go all the way down, I'll get 38, so I don't need that many. I only need 36. So there we go, 36. And last time. One more color change. Okay, so now I have 2, 12, 22, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. There we go. So I now can see just from this drawing that I have done 36 hundredths 4 times. And then I'm looking now to try to figure out my answer. I can keep this red color to write the answer. So I notice that I have 1 whole grid filled in. If I come over here, I'm going to write equals 1, and then how many hundredths? So I have 10, 20, 30, 40, 44 hundredths. So my answer is 1 and 44 hundredths. And I used these grids to figure out this problem. The other way that you can do it, which I think you've learned in the past, is to use arrays. So if I'm looking at this again, I could do it this way, where I draw arrays and then count them up. So if you remember, if I'm going to draw 36, I usually just draw lines to equal tens, and then I draw x's for my ones, just so I can see. Okay, I think I'm up to 5. That's 36. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's one array of 36, and then I would have to draw 3 more like that. So I could do 4 pictures of 36. I'm not going to do the whole thing, but if this is a strategy that helps you, I think that you should use it as well. I personally prefer the grids because I feel like it keeps it a bit more organized. While you're working on these problems today using your hundreds grids, I really want you to think about what pattern you notice with your answers. So thinking about the numbers that you're multiplying and then thinking about your answers and trying to start to notice, okay, if I don't have something to use where I can draw this kind of a problem out, how would I solve it? How can I multiply these two numbers and get these answers without using grids or without using arrays? If you feel like you're comfortable using grids, now would be a good time to start your guided practice and then move on to your independent practice. But if you want to start your guided practice with me, you can stay right here and we'll do a couple more problems together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at it, and it's 8/10 times 4. So I'm going to get that larger marker because I think that helps us. And I'll start with drawing 8/10. Okay. So now I just have to really go down 8 times. Oops. 2, 3. Try to go faster. 4, 5, 6, 7, and an 8. Now let's change my color. Please, while I'm doing this, it might be a good idea for you to do it with me. So if you have some sort of a chart near you or these grids, it would be probably helpful for you to start doing this. So we now have to do another round of 8. 4 times we have to do 8/10. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. New color. Let's do some greenish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, one more color change. Let's do red again, maybe an orange. I'm liking the colors. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So hopefully you followed along with me using your grids. And let's look up here. So I'm going to change my marker back. What we did is we now have, when we multiplied 8/10 times 4, we found, we found that there are 3 holes, right? 3 hundreds grids colored in, so it would be 3. And then what's left? I think there are 2/10 left. So 3 and 2/10 would be my answer. What I just want you to do, though, before we move on, is look at the digits. Maybe not the value of the digits, but look at the 8 and the 4. Think about what 8 times 4 is. It's 32, correct? So our answer is 3.2. So notice that those multiplication things that we usually do are times tables. Still apply here, even though there's a decimal point. We just have to note how many decimal points are in our problem, which then help us to figure out how many there are in our answer when we don't use these type of models. All right, so why don't you move on now and start working on the guided practice and the independent practice. The numbers are on the board.